Hello YouTube friends, back again with some more inspirational and inspired content. Been reading over a lot of my YouTube comments lately, and I want to give a shout out to some of those people. But today we're going to be going over Glory to His Name, a gospel song that one of my students, recent students, Seth Price, told me he wanted to learn, and I've always loved the song, but I've never really thought to do a lesson on it, so I thought there's some cool things that can happen in this song. So we'll get on to that in a moment, but I want to give a shout out to a bunch of people that I've wrote down their names that have commented on my various YouTube videos, my pentatonic licks, my advanced bluegrass tag licks, Wild Bill Jones, my bluesy side of bluegrass. I think that's what I called it. But it's people like you that inspire me to continue to create great content. Okay, so I want to give a shout out to those guys, and some of those names are Robin Ware, John Davis, Aaron Nestor, and I think there was a couple of names on that one. Valur Mather, Eric Skye, S-K-Y-E. Check that guy out. He's got some really good stuff on his YouTube page. Eric, E-R-I-C, Skye, S-K-Y-E. And tell him I sent you there. Seth Hiram, Roy Johnson, and Carl Shin. Thank you guys so much for commenting and giving me the reason to keep creating awesome content. I hope you guys, hope I got the names right on that. Okay, so we're going to go over Glory to His Name in G, and I just realized that I was facing you, so it's better if I turn to the side so you can get all the guitar in the shot. And I'm going to try to do a few videos today. I'm going to go ahead and start my timer. Try to do a few videos, so I've got about an hour or so, and I'm going to try to get a bunch of these going through, so hopefully it's not going to leave you guys too much behind. Rather than going over every little thing I did, I'm going to do some highlights of this song. When I get to them, I will point them out. So the song, if you've never heard it, kind of goes like this. And I was just playing along the melody line. The melody is down at the cross where my Savior died, down where for cleansing for sin I cried, there to my heart was the blood applied. Glory to His name. The chorus is glory to His name, glory to His name. There to my heart was the blood applied. Glory to His name. Okay, so all I was doing, and if you want to learn the rhythm for that, you can kind of go back and listen to what I did on the rhythm, because that's kind of what I do. Basically all I did was follow the melody line, and Steve Kaufman calls it the Bible method because it's seek and you shall find. If you follow the melody line of a song, which is where most great songs begin, is their melody, we would just basically hum what we just heard. So I'm just going to do the first verse and not the chorus at all, because that's what I did the solo for, was the first verse. And so we take that from words to melody to translating that on the guitar. And then we kind of, once we get a general melody line, and try to, when you're doing this, try not to fancy it up at first. Try to go back and create the most basic melody line that you can. Okay, you try to do that, and then once you get that under your hand, how it sounds, once you get it programmed and locked into your fingers, doing it over and over again, try to incorporate the chords with it. So the chords here I'm using is G in the F shape, which is very helpful. I'm just, messing around with it. That leads me to a C, but generally I like to go 2 steps above that and play this shape on the D and the B strings. 4th fret, 3rd fret. Okay, so we have that much. But there's a little lick that I incorporated in that with using my pinky here. This forms the C chord, so you're using notes that are in the C chord. Back to the G. I like to take this and do a little hammer on here from the 2nd to the 4th fret with my pinky finger on the D string. And I leave that sustaining. I like this note to ring out when I pick that. I don't go. I like it to ring out and sustain. That's a lot of what bluegrass guitar is you play the notes and you let them sustain so that they will have that nice little cascading, bleeding over effect on each other notes. But that lick is, and then lift the pinky up and hit that D string again with your middle finger on the 2nd fret while you're in the C chord. You can do this without this finger holding down, by the way, because you're not picking anything above the D string, so it's okay to let go of this and just focus on this. So that's down, up, and then hit that again, open. Okay, so let me zoom in real quick so you can see what's going on. And let me back out to make sure this thing is finicky. Okay, so bear with me. So, C, and I usually just do a pull off there. Okay, so that leads me there. And one of the trickiest things about this is you want to kind of do this. You want to kind of put that pinky back down, but don't do that. Make sure it stays up. Lift it up when you're playing the G string, and then just leave it up. Then you do this again. Now you can do an A7 because it allows that next melody note. Goes to the D. Once again, we're starting with a melody and adding chords. You can leave that back to the F shape here. You can do that. Sometimes I do. That melody note is that open G, so the A7 works well with it. And then that's just a quick lick to go to the D. Okay, so we can strum the whole A, and that's open G, and this is all on the G string, open 2, 4, open 2, and that forms your D chord. So you can end it, glory to His name. Or add a fancy lick at the end. And that is just using my pinky, or you can use your ring finger, whichever is easier for you. I'm just playing the D, the first few notes of the D chord. So pull off from the 4th fret, 2nd fret, open on the G string. Notice how that note is still ringing. That G string is still ringing. D, 4th fret, open G. And then from there I went from a G run. I'm playing, hammering on from the 2nd fret to the 3rd fret, which gives us that G7 sound. It's an F note, so you could actually, and technically you could play the F chord. and go to the C. So far we've got, and not only that, you can slide it back up. But if you want this, it's best to leave that finger there. Oops. And then we'll get to the F part. And once again, 9 times out of 10, the melody notes you need are within the chord. So if you're having trouble finding the melody notes, play the chord that it goes to and see if you can find the notes there. Make it easier on yourself. Don't try to be all fancy. You know, the melody notes I need for this, the C, is on the C chord. Simple as that. You're messing around with the D and the G strings. And when I landed on the C, I just did a quick, if you want to watch my right hand. So I'm hammering on the D string, 2nd fret with my C chord here. See, so it's 2 downs, and then an up, down on the D, down on the G, and then up on the B, while holding the C chord. Now that was another variation of that. So all that is open D, 2, G, pull off. And it's good to add a G run in there every now and then. And then here's a cool little lick that 2 more licks here that I found that work really well. Let's see. After we get to the D there, I do this. Let's see. Timer's about to go off. Okay. There we go. And then instead of holding this B string down with that F shape, I'm just going to slide the single note, 2nd fret to the 4th fret on G. And then open B. Open G, and that open G gives me time to come back down here because this is the lick that is a really good lick. Okay, and this one takes a little while. Now, if I'm playing, it's 2 downstrokes, G, B, down on the G again. You're going to take and focus on these 2 frets here, 2 and 3. Your ring finger is going to be an upstroke. Pull off, 3rd fret, ring finger. So the whole lick is just a repetition, couple repetitions of this. Okay, so this is kind of an element of backtracking. If you haven't seen my backtracking video, go check that out. There's some good exercises that you can see there. So this is upstroke, pull off, 3rd fret. 2nd fret, we're going to hold it down, play the G string, and then come back up on the open B. Then we're going to do the same thing to the G string with a downstroke. Okay, I'm going to zoom out so that you can get the entire fretboard here. Now, as we pulled off of this and landed on the G string, when we pull off the G string, we're going to land on the D string. Then play the open G string, just like we did the open B. That's why it's repeating what it's doing. same thing. And when we land on the A string, make sure, pay attention, because you're picking changes here. This is it being up, down, up, and then down, down, up, down. This is going to be an upstroke because you want your last note to have the attack. So that's what's going to be the downstroke. So it's going to be down, up, down on that D pull off. The second fret, pull off, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke. And you can just, when you get to the C, you can either do that or make it a straight, you know, kind of an arpeggiated chord. And that's going to be down, up on the D, hammer on, up G, down on the B string, holding the C chord. So once again, now notice how those notes again are sustaining, they're ringing out. When I hit that note, you can still hear the B string ringing out. And what's really cool about a guitar is that all this reverb that's happening in the body, when I pick that B string again, it doesn't cancel what's happening in the body. It cancels if I pick the string while it's ringing open. For a moment, it resets and starts all over. Notice that little pause in between. But the guitar retains that, so there's all this melding of notes that's happening. So I've reinforced that note again when I pick it twice, so it puts it back into the sound hole. So there's like 5 or 6 different notes swirling around in the guitar body itself, and so it's really important to get that sustained because it almost makes an entire chord of notes. All that harmony is happening. And chords are nothing more than harmonizing notes together. It'd be interesting to see what chord that would make with all these notes. We have a D, we have a B, we have a A, we have a G, we have an E, we have a D, okay? And then we have, let's see, that is a B and then a C. So there's no sharps in that at all. It's D, B, G, or excuse me, A, G, E, D, B, C. Those are all notes in the C major scale. Okay, so we have created effectively a C major scale to go along with this C we're hitting. So that's the second note in the C scale. So it's all the notes in the C major scale just by doing that run, and it creates a harmony of the C chord, and then you play the C chord. It's really interesting. I've never really thought about that until now. But anyway, the lick once again. Let me zoom in one more time so you can get it. The lick once again is. When you hit that note, and then instead of going to the end, glory to his name, I did a nice little bluesy lick. Instead of going, I go, instead of, now you're going to go, so just know that part first. Now notice I'm letting that B string ring open. My first finger's here. I'm letting it ring on the first fret. That's some more backing track licks. Okay. And after you hit that D to the open G, you're going to slide from the 3rd fret and then play a unison note on the D string. Slide from the 3rd to the 5th. Do it twice. Not the slide, but the pick. Your fingers that you use on that is all up to you. I typically go I usually go with my ring finger, middle finger, and then continue with the middle finger. Okay, and that's a lick that I taught on Your Love Is Like a Flower. I used it on that, and I learned that from Brian Sutton. Forgot I'd learned it from him, and then I went back and watched his video again on the secrets of successful flat picking, and found that I did use it from one of his licks. I can't remember what it was on. It might have been Wild Bill Jones, which is what I just went over. One of my videos I just released. But anyway, the last part again is okay. So very slowly, and then we'll put this video to wrap it up. Okay, and then there's a couple things I realized I didn't put in there a while ago was the little D run. Same thing as the G run, just on the lower strings. And another thing I did on the very first of this that I didn't cover is it's on the last part. It's just a little lick kind of like that. And that's usually just happening on the open D, open A, and then hammer on 2nd fret. So hammer on 2nd fret A, open D, downstroke 1st fret, pull off, open the A string, downstroke on the G note on the 3rd fret of the E string. Usually after that I usually do a little G run. So let me see if I can replicate that. It's hard to do it exactly as I did. If you go back and watch the video, you can kind of see what I did, but I have to work myself into it, and I've already went on this video way longer than I intended to. I hope it was a great lesson for you guys. Once again, this was Glory to His Name, and I give glory to His name because He has allowed me to enjoy the gift of music that I enjoy today, and I thank God that He has blessed me with people like you that love guitar music and love bluegrass music just as much as I do. I really enjoy it, really enjoy producing it for you. So go out there and spread the word and spread the news about these wonderful songs, these wonderful lessons that I'm doing. Get other people involved. If it's made a difference in your life, I know it will make a difference in others' lives. Your friends, they will be glad that you told them about some of my lessons. So please subscribe. There should be some videos popping up that you can subscribe, and go check out my Texas Blues Guitar newsletter, totally free. I update it every, a new video comes out every week, and I've got 30 something, maybe more videos in there so far. and there's tons more coming. Okay, so go check it out at www.secretsoftexasbluesguitar.com. There should be a link right over my head appearing, and you can click on that and go straight there. Check out my website, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe, tell your friends, and that was my phone going off if you heard it. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Tune in for the next video. God bless.